Okay, America, we don't have any money for housing for the 500,000 homeless that we have here. There's 43 million, at least, poor people. If you double the poverty rate, which some people say we need to do, half the country is poor. Half the country is poor with growing inequality. Some people said, what is it, that the boss should make maybe 8 times more than the worker? Maybe 8 times more than the worker. The boss, he's got all the decisions, all the responsibility falls upon the boss. So the worker, makes $10 an hour. The boss makes $80 an hour. It actually turns out the boss makes 300 times more than the worker. Worker gets $10 an hour. Boss gets $3,000 an hour. Oh, okay. When you actually start breaking this shit down, it's insanity. How much money we spend on bullshit, on war, right? On empire. What war? What enemies do we have? We are just creating enemies. The drone strikes are creating enemies. We had the bloodiest year in the Afghanistan war this year. Just in Kabul, you had 100 people that got massacred. People don't talk about 17 in South Florida. That's a tragedy. But how come we didn't say nothing about Kabul? There was 1,000 people that got killed in Kabul in one day. Talk about mass shooting. You can't get worse than mass shooting than that. So we got 900 military bases, 100 nations, have our special ops in there. There's 30 shadow wars in Africa, so that's, 30 Vietnams. That's when Vietnam began, when Truman sent the military advisors. It was Truman, Eisenhower, then it was Kennedy, then it was LBJ, then it was Nixon, and then it was Gerald Ford. Eventually they pulled the purse strings. The Democrats in Congress are who stopped Vietnam. So who is leading the Democrats in Congress during Gerald Ford's 2-year reign in 1975? Those are the people that stopped Vietnam. And George McGovern. After George McGovern, that was his whole platform. And actually, he had a lot of ideas. George McGovern was really cool. We had a bright, shining moment. So I was going to go ahead and list all the military bases that we have. So, this is what we're spending our money on. We don't have any money for health care. We don't have any money for housing. We don't have any money for, the child care. We don't have money for Americans. So Germany offers free college for everybody, but not America. America doesn't offer free college to Americans. Germany does. So, of course, so we have 30 shadow wars in Africa. Where are we at? Where are these shadow wars at? Well, they're shadow wars, right? Keep them secret. That's the great thing about being a military dictator. You keep them all secret. We got 8 or so countries we're publicly bombing, but the special ops keep the lid on it. And then, of course, old Donald doesn't like regulation. He's unleashing fascism all over the world. And it's in defense of corporations. So when Niger, and so a lot of people know that we're in Niger, but we're also in Cameroon and, not Mauritania. I'm going to list all of them. Actually, let's go with the list right now. Okay. So, the military bases in Africa. Of course, Djibouti is where all the military bases in Africa, SOCOM or whatever, SOCA Africa. SOCA Africa, this is the military, the American military. The main base is in Djibouti. Djibouti is right on the corner of Ethiopia. It's right there on the eastern side. It's a little tiny country, and it's Djibouti. It starts with a D, but the D is silent, like in Django. But Djibouti, is this a joke, America? Yeah, we're going to put all the military up in Djibouti, right? Up in your Djibouti. So this is where all the military personnel are based out of. So we got a nice, big, solid, hold on Djibouti. Djibouti's our country. Nobody's going to take Djibouti away from us. Now, from that main base in Djibouti, in Africa, then all these other bases are deployed. So I'm not saying that it's the only one, but I'm saying it's the headquarters. It's one of the main ones. So we have 3 military bases in Mali. We have 1 military base in Tunisia. We have 1 military base in Algeria. We have 2 military bases in Senegal. And there's 1 in the mainland and 1 on the coast. So don't worry, America. We went ahead and we've invaded Senegal, Algeria, Tunisia, and Mali. Got 3 military bases in Mali. No telling who is being killed or what we're doing in Mali. And 2 in Senegal. Again, 1 in the mainland, 1 on the coast. So we got How much money, how much personnel, buildings, equipment, arms? Oh yeah, $1 trillion. We got $1 trillion for all this shit. One on the coast of Nigeria, 4 military bases near the Nigerian border in adjacent nations. You got one in Niger, 2 in Cameroon, and one on the Chad-Cameroon border, which I believe is in Chad, but it's right there on the border. So you got 2 in Cameroon that's bordering Nigeria. So one on the we don't have any bases in Nigeria. We got one on the coast of Nigeria, 4 bases around Nigeria, but none actually in Nigeria. One's in Niger, 2's in Cameroon, and one's on the Chad-Cameroon border, which is on the border of Nigeria. In Benin and Togo, we don't have any military bases in Benin and Togo, no military bases in Nigeria, none in Guinea-Bissau, none in the Gambia, none in Western Sahara, nor in Morocco, none in Libya. This is, an older map, so perhaps we don't have military bases in Libya. We overthrew Libya, and we didn't even get a military base. No wonder slavery is happening there. We're not even trying to. Basically, we toppled their government, then just kind of, backed off? It's like, oh, you shot our dad. Yeah. Well, about time for us to go. So, no military bases, so we got, half of Africa, but a lot of countries we don't have. So we probably need to escalate our war budget. We probably need $2 trillion or $3 trillion so we could get some bases in Guinea-Bissau, the Gambia, in Morocco, and Libya. We don't have it. You guys, Americans, we don't have any bases in Morocco or in Libya or in Benin or Togo or in Nigeria or in Equatorial Guinea. We do have 3 military bases in Ghana and 1 in South Africa, but we don't have any in Lesotho or Swaziland. I mean, my God, how can we're not doing this empire thing very good. It seems like we got, we're just scattered here and there. There's 3 military posts on 3 islands to the east of Africa. There's one on Sao Tome or Principe, or both. So island of Sao Tome or Principe. One on the islands in Cabo Verde, the Cabo Verde island chain. So to the east of Africa, near Madagascar, we don't have any military bases in Madagascar. America, we got to get strong, Our military and our defense is important, and we need to defend the troops and defend the military. We need to escalate the war, and we need to take over all of Africa. We only got half of Africa that we've taken over. We need to take them all over. God, man. I mean, if we're going to do this empire thing, don't do it half-assed. What is this, a secret empire? Are we trying to keep the empire away from I guess they're keeping the empire away from the African people and the American people. No telling what the fuck they're doing. But I do know in the 80s, we were killing a bunch of Guatemalans and a bunch of El Salvadorians on behalf of Chiquita Banana, on behalf of the corporations which owned 90% of the land. And the people own nothing. So we're killing the people that say, hey, we want to own shit too. The revolutionaries. When we defended the corporations. I think world opinion, I think communists have won. I mean, look at all of Europe. They're all socialist. Look at all of South America. They're all socialist. Actually, even Germany. My God, I mean, it's just common sense, isn't it? They have a little bit of mixture of caring about people and free market enterprise. No, can't even mention caring about people. Okay, sorry. I just was mentioning maybe we should care about people. So we got 3 military posts on 3 islands to the east of Africa, and then we got 3 military bases on 3 islands to the west of Africa, too. So we've got a lot of countries. We got a lot of countries. We've taken over, or not taken over, excuse me. We got a military base in Mali, but if you know about the Civil War, once you get a federal military base in your country, you can't fuck with that property. Because if you invade that property or attack those people, that's just an invitation for war. That's the American property. You can't kill America or American property. So we've invaded, and we have our bases in Mali, Tunisia, Algeria, Senegal, We got some around Nigeria, none in Nigeria or Benin or Togo, Guinea-Bissau. Okay, so let's carry on. The 3 islands to the west of Africa, 2 in Seychelles, Seychelles, Seychelles Islands. So don't worry, America. We have taken over Seychelles Islands on the west of Africa. We got some islands on the west of Africa, and we got one on Mauritius Island. Mauritius. But we don't have any on the Comoros Islands, okay? So we need more money for our troops. I mean, we don't have any troops in the Comoros Islands or none in Lesotho or Swaziland. But we have plenty of money, America, don't worry. We got one on the coast of Mauritania. We have 4 military bases in Niger, one on the border of Niger and Nigeria. So we got Niger taken care of. We've declared war in Niger. We are killing people. We are murdering people in defense of corporations, in defense of capitalism. Don't worry, America. We're killing lots of people in Niger. We're killing people in Cameroon. We got 3 military bases in Cameroon. And we didn't really give, a goddamn about the Bakassi fishermen. I mean, that was our Cameroon government. Our Cameroonian friends went ahead and did that. Got a military base in Burkina Faso, Sierra Leone, Liberia, the Ivory Coast, 2 military bases in Gabon. So in case you were worried about the Gabonese rising up and attacking us, there probably wasn't any threat of it now, but now that we are occupying their country, we've given them a target. I hope we're doing good in there. I mean, these are military. I know some fucking military. They're not, there's some good ones. Some are just dumb fucking asses, just mean motherfuckers. Right? They're just there, firepower, kill, shoot. They're not there to build nothing. Or they're not there for their brains. We got military base in Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, Somalia, Kenya, Uganda. We got 2 military bases in Namibia, 2 military bases, only 2 in Somalia. I mean, like, shit. Thought we invaded that country. See, we're doing empire half-assed. Either America, we got to decide we're the fucking empire, we're the world's police, because we already are. 900 military bases out, the whole world recognizes us. And in Africa, right, we only got what? Maybe 20 countries that don't have our military bases. The rest of Africa knows that you got to respect America. They got their fucking base in here, right? Would we imagine if you heard about Botswana. Botswana is building a military base in Texas, right? The Botswanese and the Ugandans, Coney went ahead and come to Texas and is building a military base. We got 4 military bases in Uganda, which that's the pretense for all this, essentially, is to help fight Al-Qaeda and that Coney, who's Coney? Coney represents, I don't know, some shitty fucking terrorist group in Africa, the Save Our Girls campaign. Which is actually worse than Al-Qaeda. It's a pretty bad fucking group. Boko Haram, something, I don't know. But that's the pretense. But that's always the pretense. It doesn't really matter, right? We're going there to protect you, to save you. Who gives a shit? We're the empire. We're coming in. And to the countries that can't enforce their sovereignty, well, they're stuck with us. To the ones that can enforce their sovereignty, well, we have to win them over. We got to get some permission. Or just send our spies in there, and I'm sure, our spies in defense of the corporations, I'm sure that'll work out well for us. We don't have any in Mozambique. Mozambique kill is 2 shots in the chest and 1 in the head. So it's very methodical, pow, pow, pow. We don't have any military bases in Mozambique. So the threat of Mozambique, not respecting American authority, we need to get our military bases in there. We've got to invade Mozambique as soon as possible. These are the few countries we don't have military bases in Africa. But don't worry, Jesus is actually talking to Mike Pence. He talks to Mike Pence personally. He hears Jesus' voice in his head because he's fucking insane, and he's fucked up, and he's a weirdo, and he hates gay people even though he's probably the biggest... Anyways, We got a military base on the coast of Mauritania. We got a military base in Egypt. We got 3 military bases in Central African Republic. We got 6 military bases in Ethiopia. We got 3 military bases in Djibouti, right? That's why we're there. Bunch of perverted generals. Oh, we're in Djibouti. We got your Djibouti. Yeah, look at us, Africa. We got your ass, right? We got your booty. We got Djibouti. One in South Africa, near the Democratic Republic of Congo border, near our 1 military base in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So it seems like we're like inching in the Democratic Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo is the big Congo, but just the regular republic. They don't have our military base. We got 1 in the Democratic Republic. We got 1 in South Sudan. We don't have any in Sudan. We got 4 in Kenya, right? Obama's homeland, Kenya. And then we have, and you know what? If anybody's born on any one of these bases, John McCain was born on a base in Panama. So if anybody is born on the Egyptian base, the Central African Republic base, Botswana, Gabon, Ivory Coast, Liberia, they are Americans. If you're born on the military base in Cameroon, you're a Cameroonian and you're an American. That's American soil. That's all you need to become an American citizen, is to be born on American soil. But we don't have any in Mozambique, none in Malawi, none in Zimbabwe, none in Madagascar, or Angola, or Sudan, or Libya. None in Libya. And in all these places, they all have their issues. The Bukasi fishermen, 98 fishermen were just murdered for no fucking reason. They didn't pay the boat tax. But really, the Cameroonians want to take the oil fields. Oil, that sounds like American government kind of bullshit, right? So these Bukasi fishermen are sitting on these oil fields. The Cameroonians say, hey, you got to pay your boat tax. 3 days later, they didn't get any boat tax, so they killed them. And then, for the ones that ran away, there were some refugees that survived the thing, and that's how we know what actually took place. But they're fucking fishermen who've been living there for generations. They're like Palestinians. They're Native Americans. They've been on that soil. They've been in that area, and then other people just say, hey, we want the oil underneath your land. So the Mauritanian authorities detained an activist. Okay, bloggers. So that's fucking great, right? We got a base in Mauritania. What happened with that, right? Then we got one on the coast of Mauritania, and we got one on Mauritius Island. But we don't have a base on Mauritania, so it seems like they're arresting bloggers. So, that's against free speech. We need to invade Mauritania, right? Mauritania is one of the few nations we have not invaded. We got one on the coast. So, we're perched. We got a nice little perch, which is important for war, since I guess we've declared war on Africa or the world or something. Who knows why we have all those military bases. But we do. So, let's see what else is going on in other places. Angola, there's human rights violation. BP is looking to move into Angola, Nigeria, Gabon. So it's a good thing we got we've taken over Gabon. Nigeria, does Nigeria run their own country? Because we don't have a base in Nigeria. Senegal's president signed an intergovernment cooperation with Mauritania. This is an important milestone for this innovative gas project. So BP. So British Petroleum, we're making sure that the markets are open in Africa for British Petroleum to make a shit ton of fucking money. I don't know if, let's see, they were trading 2% higher. The Cosmos London shares were up 2.6. So BP, they're making some good money. So if anybody was worried about whether or not BP could sell or, get into Gabon or Botswana or Namibia or Somalia or Kenya or Uganda, don't worry. We've got those places under lockdown. We got our military bases in those countries. Now, where BP doesn't have any markets, or at least we're there at the behest of the country themselves, is in Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Madagascar, Angola, and Sudan. So that's a crime, right? That's an international crime. Sudan is going to let BP take the oil fields and then sell them, take the raw materials and then use their people to sell their stuff. So to take the money, the cash, the labor, and the raw materials of that country. We need to invade, Mozambique, as soon as possible. How are we going to let Mozambique just, live free like they're their own nation? No. As soon as we do that, then they'll start chasing that nuclear bomb, and then, we need to take over everybody. That's the reason why we have, one more time, I'm just going to go down the list. That's why we have 3 military bases in Mali, so we could sleep, calmly at night. 1 in Tunisia. Tunisia is a wonderful revolutionary story. 1 in Algeria. 2 in Senegal. 1 on the coast of Nigeria. None in Nigeria. None in Benin. None in Togo. We got 1 on the coast of Nigeria, on the border of Nigeria and Niger, and 2 in Cameroon. 1 on the Chad-Cameroon border. But none in Guinea-Bissau. None in the Gambia. None in Western Sahara, Morocco. Which is it seemed like Morocco is Western Sahara, but for some reason the map had said there are 2 different, maybe it's just arid desert, nobody lives in the Western Sahara. The Sahara is the entire northern Africa. Sahara is a huge fucking desert, like the entire northern part of Africa. Then they got the Serengeti. A lot of shit's going on in Africa. Africa should, just get their shit together and nominate a fucking leader and just, Haiti showed you the way. Didn't you see what Haiti, Okay. So, 3 military bases in Ghana, none in Equatorial Guinea, none in Libya, 3 military bases in Ghana, 1 in South Africa, none in Lesotho or Swaziland. We got 3 military posts on 3 islands to the east of Africa, and we got 3 military bases on 3 islands to the west of Africa. 1 on Sao Tome or Principe or both, 1 in Cabo Verde island chain, 2 in Seychelles Island, 1 in Mauritius Island, none on Comoros Island, 1 on the coast of Mauritania is what, regular people would say. Mauritania is what the elite snobs who do economics. 4 military bases in Niger, 1 on the border of Niger and Nigeria, 3 military bases in Cameroon, 1 military base in Burkina Faso, 1 military base, and you're paying for all this, America. You love paying for the military that we have in Liberia, which that was where we, when to ship them back to Africa, we shipped them to Liberia. We got a military base there. It's out of control, butt naked. The army of butt naked. There's an actual general named Butt Naked, runs around naked, invading and attacking people. That's in Liberia. We got a military base there, but we don't really, give a shit about the buck naked and the child soldiers and shit. We're just there for the oil to allow BP to make a shit ton of money. We don't really care about human rights violations. That's why we ignore the Rohingya Muslims. That's why we ignore the genocide in Sudan. 4 military bases in Niger, 3 military bases in Cameroon, 1 in Burkina Faso, 1 on the coast of Mauritania, 1 military base in Sierra Leone, 1 in Liberia, 1 in the Ivory Coast, 1 in Gabon, 1 in Zambia, 2 in Gabon, 2 in Gabon, right? That's where BP's already got access to the oil market, so thank God for our invasion of Gabon. How long we've taken over Gabon? Why are we occupying Gabon? I'll just quit asking questions. 1 in Zambia, 1 in Botswana, 2 in Namibia, 2 in Somalia, 4 in Kenya, 4 in Uganda, 1 in the Democratic Republic of Congo, 1 in South Sudan, near the Democratic Congo border, near our 1 military base in the Democratic Republic of Congo, none in the regular Republic of Congo, the big Congo, 1, and 1 in South Sudan, 3 military bases in Djibouti, 6 military bases in Ethiopia, 3 in Central African Republic, 1 in Egypt. We got a military base in Egypt, which we send a shit ton of money to maintain their military dictatorship, to go against the revolution, so I'm sure they love that. That's a very easy target, especially for all the shit that we've done in Egypt, for the military base. Our troops in Egypt, I would say they're very much threatened, but they get, billions of dollars, so. And then we got, the base on Mauritania, none in Mozambique, none in Malawi, none in Zimbabwe, none in Madagascar or Angola, none in Sudan or Libya. So, we got like 30, 40, or 50 countries in Africa, but there's about 20 countries we haven't done. So if we're going to do this empire thing, we got room for improvement. If we're going to say, you know what, let's treat the world like equals, then we need to, stop it with our bullshit. We're going around bullying people and saying, hey, do what we say or what? You'll fucking pull your assassination program bullshit. Salvador Allende. We've assassinated foreign leaders before because they were socialist. Oh no, Chile just elected a socialist leader. But look at South America now. They all got universal health care down there. Europe's got universal health care. The rest of the world is, I think they're on to the Washington Consensus. They're on to us. Anyways, there's a list of the military bases in Africa.